Hello and welcome to podcast 366 of 5-Star Potential, your weekly Football Manager podcast. I'm Doop, and on this week's pod, it's just the young kids as I am joined with Dave. And we've got some very important FM updates to get through, as we've got some awesome things that's happened in our saves. Dave will be giving us an update on how he's still pushing for that fourth trophy in the Penty, and I'll be giving you listeners a wonderful Cirencester update and even have some news about a Champions League final that even Dave doesn't know the outcome. So that could be quite interesting. But before we get there, we might as well just have a quick chat and just check in. We haven't spoke to each other for a week. Dave, how you doing? You got any, apart from the football being back, you got any winners, any losers of the week? And obviously I know what your winner's going to be about how good I am at FPL, but we can get to that later.
Yeah, we can talk about FPL because we said we'd talk a little bit about it. I think we got the 5-Star Pod League. So we'll have a check in on that we'll have a check on that in a second. It's been all right. Obviously, the football's back. Unfortunately, Wolves didn't win, but we were away at Arsenal, so always tough. Other than that,
2-0 at the end?
2-0, but we played okay. We weren't too bad. One thing I want to mention, I don't know if you would class this as a winner or a loser. Did you see Eric Cantona as a pundit on TV?
He just did not want to be there.
I watched it and I was like, never felt so awkward in my life. But I think I quickly realised, I think it's a publicity stunt, like from the TV station. Only because if anyone's not seen it, basically he gets asked a question. I think it's who's going to be the top goal scorer. And he takes 5 seconds and then says, "We'll see." And it's Owen Hargreaves' reaction. And it's almost quite dramatic how he reacts. So I think that's why. And then he walks off the set. You remember Preston on Nevermind the Buzzcocks years ago?
Yeah,
it's a bit like that.
That was funny. What a throwback.
Yeah, so I went and looked at that. I was there like, that I'm going to mention that, but some people see that as a winner, but some people obviously don't like Eric Cantona, so could take it as a loser. But yeah, very interesting.
Apart from the fact he kicked a fan in the face when he's on a football pitch, what to like about Cantona? I'm assuming you've seen all the new stuff with him with the goat.
Yeah,
just walking a goat about
some people just won't like the arrogance, so will they? Some people just don't like that sort of thing. But
when you're good, I think you can get away with that sort of shit, can't you?
Yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, other than that, just same old, mate. Football's back. I had a bit of a day like Friday. I had whilst I was at work. This is 3 videos I had to edit and upload all in the same day. It was
nice.
Awful.
Football's back.
Yeah,
and this is why we can't do an FPL podcast.
No, I'm sorry.
I come to Dave with a really nice idea about because I'm basically trying to do FPL this season. Very, very new to it. Thank you, Dave. I will say I've been in Dave's DMs with I've changed my team for the 17,000th time, but also just a few. What does this mean? What does this mean? And he's been honest with me, and I am beating him. So anyway, and I was like, we should do a little podcast, one podcast per game week, talk about what happened previous game week, new pod thing. And he's like, I'm too busy, mate. I think he was just trying to be polite, but I don't think he actually wants to spend
I would do it genuinely, but I can only just about cope with this podcast and the Talking Wall stuff. So if I had something else into it, I just know that.
Well, fingers crossed. We'll put it on the back burner for now, and hopefully maybe next season, give me a season, we'll be in it. And obviously Wolves will get relegated by then. So because you must be bottom of the table, are you?
Nah. It'll be Everton, maybe. They lost 3-0 today.
Was it 3-0 they lost?
Yeah. So
you're still in the relegation zone right now.
Oh, alphabetical order.
We were top of the table for 12 hours, was it? Yeah, you're bottom.
Yeah, I do find FPL interesting though, because a lot of people just go pick players they know and so on. But I think especially for Football Manager fans, if they're really into the analytical side of things, if you're clever with FPL and look into that analysis and stuff like that, you could genuinely have a lot of fun with that. And I've never got into the so rare hype either, but I know a lot of Football Manager fans and people of this podcast that I know that I've spoken to or listen to the podcast, they're into so rare because I had a couple of people talk to me about it before. I don't think it's anything I could get into because I think you've got to put money into it. And I'd be scared of that aspect of it. But other than that, I think there's so much with FPL that you can relate to Football Manager as well, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it is tough. It's so frustrating. Jota scored today and I'm kind of not that gutted that he scored. Now, obviously, if he was playing our team, if he's playing with United, I don't know. Did you have any Arsenal players? Did you have Saka?
No, I have Saliba and Raya. So I did okay out of it, to be fair.
Yeah, but
We're
You
sacking him, bro.
want like if Wolves score, you're not going to be gutted
M
because
this is the thing because and I said this to you, FPL in terms of real life football there's sometimes where I'm at the Wolves match, but then looking at the scores of the other games and I'm worried about like how teams are getting on. But even today, I should want Wolves to score, but 2-0 down in stoppage time, do I want us to draw a blank and I get points on FPL, or do I want us to look half decent and lose 2-1? It's mad. It sounds mad, doesn't it? Really, when you put it like
shit,
that. But
really.
yeah,
And it is shit. Let's be honest, that is
Mhm.
shit.
I know.
That's horrendous. But and that's what I don't like. I
That's what
kind of wanted it. I wanted Ipswich to do well today. I
they did.
thought,
Okay,
that'd be
first off.
quite nice.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, do I?
The thing is, it's not so bad
Stinks.
this year, but last year I was joined a lot of leagues where again I had money on it, and I've
Hmm.
had a lot of people pressure me into joining leagues, and I said this year I don't want to because I was that obsessed with it because there was money on the
Mm.
line, and I thought I don't want it to ruin weekends in football. So
No, definitely not. And that's obviously that's the way to do it. My winner of the week is Ben Brereton Diaz.
oh wow,
Absolutely mate, honestly, absolutely disgusting what he did. Like, if you haven't seen it,
I
heads
saw
have
the
come
clip,
together.
but he just ran up. What happened to lead up to that? I just saw him like run up to
So
him. What's the
the
ball?
whistle blew, and it was like an offside or whatever, and he just pushed Fabian Shah in the back.
Just out
He
out of the
then went
blue.
down. He then got back up, and basically Shah put his head in Ben Brereton Diaz's face, and
I
then
still
he
think that's
went
a red
down as if
card, though.
he'd been.
I know a lot of people. I still think it's a red for me.
Okay, right. So if it's a red card or a yellow, whatever, but he didn't need to
Oh,
drop
the
to the
overreaction,
second.
yeah, for sure. But
And
Shaw moved his head towards him, and for me, that
yeah,
you just know it's gonna be a red.
but it's just like, I mean, you can't do that. You can't run your face into somebody else's, right? Because it just doesn't work. But it's just like the reaction was mental. And he just absolutely rustled every single Newcastle fan that I've seen on Twitter, on everywhere. And I just thought it was quite funny. Because they were all getting rustled. I mean, they won in the end, so who cares? But like, it was just fair play. He
You
rustled the
see the
fuck
amount of
out of him.
chances he missed,
I
Brereton Diaz. He
know.
had some
And they were
great chances,
booing the
man.
shit out of him,
He
weren't
had
they?
some great chances. It would have been brilliant if he scored.
It would have
Um,
been like proper, what do you call it? Like
I would
villain.
love to see the celebrations would have been amazing.
Ah, he would have. Yeah, I mean, it was good, but so yeah, I mean, he's quite a good winner. Zerchi as well, coming off the
Yeah,
bench
love that.
and scoring in his seventh touch or whatever. Um,
Great finish as well, by the way.
yeah, I
Took
mean,
me
it
about
was.
4 replays to see how it actually went in because the angles just looked like
Yeah,
an
I
own
mean,
goal. It looked like
I was
McTominay, I think,
gonna
was
say the
behind him.
the
Playing.
commentators kind of didn't give him the credit. Just didn't
Yeah.
give him the credit, and then oh, was that deflected? Did it hit Bassey? And then he went, oh no, no, look, it's literally a clean strike, and he meant that absolute 100%. So
Mm.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Football's football, though, isn't it? But talking of football, unless you've got any losers, shall we jump on to a little bit of a chat about your save?
Yeah, man. Very quickly, firstly, I mean, we're recording this late Saturday night, so we've
Oh
only had
yes,
the Saturday Premier League fixtures. But very quickly looking at the FPL, the 5-star pod, it's FC Astana. I think it's apologies about the pronunciation. Elyiz Ateb with 67 points leading the way at the moment. He's got a couple of players left to play.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, I'm just outside the top 10. I'm on 11. 11th. I am in the league.
oh yeah, see,
Uh,
I've only just
yeah.
joined. I realised I didn't join the link.
Oh
There's loads
no.
of people in there though, so that's
Yeah,
pretty
there is.
cool.
There is. I mean, it is a mental amount. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
O'Neill's Barmy Army. I see at the
yeah,
bottom.
I'm only just joining.
Um,
Sorry, boys.
but yeah, I'm actually on 52 points. I went for a quite bold shout and I captained Diego Jota, which looked great when he scored. Didn't look so great when he missed.
Mm.
And then obviously Salah come on and stole the show. But I was quite good. I had Saka, so Saka got a
Mm.
clean sheet, an assist, and a goal.
Yeah,
That's worry as well. Clean sheet bonus. I didn't know about the 63rd minute thing as well, or
the
60. What is
60th
it?
minute. I got away with
Yeah,
that with Ahmad, didn't I? Ahmad
yeah,
Diallo, 3 points, 30 seconds. No, was it? It was 30 seconds, was it?
yeah. It
No,
was like
less than that,
31
5
seconds
seconds.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
There you go.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but I put Pickford in there. I just
Oh,
think
did you?
Pickford's really active goalkeeper with his saves that he might do quite well.
Yeah.
But I've got
Keepers
Pedro
are hard.
Porro.
Keepers are hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Pedro Porro, Eze, Haaland, and Solanke to play. So the geezer that I'm competing against, he averaged last year 63 points per game week. So I am 9 points away from hitting my
I
target.
think based off the stats you gave me of his tallies last year, you should be okay. You should
Yeah,
an active player who's half decent should be that rank. So
fingers
yeah,
crossed.
you should be fine.
However, in my work league, some geezer has got 82 points
Jesus.
without without no bench boost, no nothing. He had Gabriel, Trent, Saka, Mo, Diego Jota, Havertz, Isaac, and just killing the points.
And the guy
I
who's
do love
top in
the
the
fact,
world has a great team. He's got 119 points at the moment.
yeah, but he's
His bench booster.
bench boost, yeah, and that's just somebody doing it, surely.
Yeah, he's
You
from
know, you
Congo.
get it quite a lot, don't you? Where at the
They
start of the
just chuck everything
season,
off, yeah. Yeah,
people
yeah.
just chuck a load of things in just to try and be top of the world for 1 minute. But that is pretty cool to have that one all the way down, isn't it?
Mm.
But yeah, that's a big shout to have that. I mean, it's quite a good team, to be fair, what he's
It's
got.
not a bad side, is it? With the players on the
No,
bench. Wow.
yeah,
Fair play.
yeah, mental. So yeah,
Right.
FPL, if you want to join, the
FM.
link is in the description. You can
Mhm.
also go and check out my league, which is a bit of a smaller league, if you want to see how you can get up a bit closer and personal. But we will be giving out prizes in my league. No, Mad, we haven't discussed the prize pot with Mad, so at the moment my league's got some money in it. So yeah, I maybe whoever's top at the time FM comes out, I'll give a free copy away or something with that. I don't know. We'll find something. I mean, there's not many people in my league because it's very new. Anyway, come on, talk to me. Talk to me, boy. How have you been getting on?
Well, so I'm still at Pumas at the moment in Mexico, but like I said, after my holiday, I've really lost momentum of the game. With that, actually being busy at work is another thing, so I haven't really
Cheers,
been able
Wendy.
to play much. Um, but some
And
very
and the, and the girlfriend.
yeah, exactly that.
Mm,
Very, very interesting update. So, like, if you've never managed in Mexico before, obviously, you have, I think, the opening stage, which
yeah.
is like a league, and then you have the closing stage. So, at the moment, I'm right at the end of the closing stage, but my Champions League campaign is finished. So, I will explain what's happened there in a second. So, I think the last time we spoke, it was right at the end of the opening stage. I got to the quarterfinal. Club America just way too strong, so sort of had a little break. So that ended the 1st of December 2040, which sounds just ridiculous. What year are you in, Dupe, on yours?
2037.
Oh, so you're not far away. So
No.
2040. And then I didn't really do much transfer business in between, but I started the closing stage and it was fantastic. Like really, really strong performances. I wasn't just winning games, I was winning them, very strong. 4-0, 4-1, 4-0. I then had out of the blue a 4-0 defeat. I thought, oh crap, here we go. But then got back right at it and, a fantastic run of form. In our Champions League, obviously we'd got through the group. So our first knockout round, oh no, there was no groups. It just goes straight knockout, I think. Yeah, it just goes straight knockout. So our first knockout round, we played Columbus Crew, obviously from MLS.
Yeah.
Drew what we were favourites, I think, for the tie. We drew 1-1 in the away leg, and then we beat them 3-1 at home. I was like, okay, happy days. The second round, we played a team called Valor FC. They're from Canada. Beat them 5-2 at home and 2-1 away. So I was like, okay, happy days. We then got to the quarterfinal. We played a team called Herediano, who were from I don't know what badge is that. I don't even know what badge that is.
I can't see Dave, to be honest.
I think it's like Honduras or something like that. No, Costa Rica. That's awful flag knowledge. Awful flag knowledge. From Costa Rica, and I thought, no disrespect, but a team from Costa Rica in the quarterfinal, surely we should be beating these. We beat them 6-0 in the home leg. And then in the second leg, we drew 2-2 because I rotated the team massively. Obviously, in between this, we're doing quite well still in the closing stages of the Mexican League. So I win the next league game after that 4-2. Beat Club America then 7-3 in the league. It's Club America who were just unbelievable in the opening stage. I slowed down a little bit in the closing stage, beat them 7-3 as we went on to play Toronto in the semi-final. So again, an MLS team, and I'd said on a couple of pods ago, MLS sides hadn't had the best of records in the CONCACAF Champions League for a while. But I was still cautious because Toronto are a decent team, but beat them 3-0 at home. They had a red card in the last 15 minutes. We took advantage of that because we got the third goal. It was really, really tight game before then, to be fair. And then in the league, we'd lost 3-2. And then in the second leg against Toronto, we lost 1-0. But obviously, we're through to the final, winning 3-1. Then we moved on. We'd won the closing stages. We finished top. And then, as you know, Doop, although you finish top, it then goes into a knockout stage, like quarterfinal, semi-final, final to win. I lost 1-0 to Puebla FC. But I wasn't that bothered because obviously I had the second leg. But that meant I'd lost 3 on the bounce then. And I thought, shit, if there's a time for me to lose momentum, it is not now. Like, I need to, get back at it. And then in the second leg, I beat Puebla 2-1. Now, obviously, they beat me in the home leg, in the away leg 1-0. I beat them 2-1. But I got it's called, I don't even know what they class it as, a home advantage or something like that. So basically, higher seed. So although we drew on aggregate, because I finished in the higher seed in the league, I go through. There's no extra time. There's no penalties. I was like, oh, okay, no problem.
Okay.
The Champions League final I'll come on to in a minute. We then had the semi-final of the closing stage. We played Deportivo Guadalajara, drew 1-1 away. We drew 1-1 at home. But because we were the higher seed, we went through again. I was man, that's crazy. So I haven't finished the season yet. I'm about to play the second leg of the closing stage final. I play in Club America. I've just lost 3-2 in the first leg away, and I've got to play them next at home. But I'm not that bothered about that, obviously. I'll come to the Champions League final now. So we played Monterrey, who obviously Mexican side as well. If I look at my history as a manager against them, I've beaten them 3-1 earlier in the season. I don't think I played them in the opening stage because it was very early in the season. I think it was before I actually joined. So this game has got to be up there with one of the maddest games of Football Manager I've played, considering the occasion and considering what had happened. So we played Monterrey. 7 minutes into the game, they went 1-0 up. And we looked okay. We looked pretty dominant. Got into half time though, still 1-0 down. Get to, and I'm thinking we've got to jump on this. We've got to score as early as we can in the second half. And thankfully we did. Lucas Acosta, who obviously is a new gen, but very, very good player for this level, scores 53rd minute. So we get it to 1-1. Happy days. 60th minute, they get a penalty. I think it's one of those in the match and you look like he won the ball. Referee gives penalty, sticks with it. They score 2-1. Mate, clock's ticking down. 70th minute, still 2-1 down. 80th minute, still 2-1 down. I'm thinking, what can I do? I don't even know if I think I loosened, a few of the instructions, but even my best players just weren't performing. So I brought one of my better strikers off and brought on a lad called Cesar Soto. Now he's to be fair, attributes-wise, really good player. Just hasn't played a lot for me, but still got 16 finishing, 16 dribbling, 15 composure. Like as a striker, like really, really tidy attributes. He comes on, bags one in the 89th minute, like brilliant finish. I'm like, get in, like saved ourselves here. Then goes to extra time. So 2-2 extra time. 7 minutes into extra time, they go 3-2 up again. So bearing in mind, I've gone behind 3 times now in this match. 97th minute, they score. 100th minute, we get a goal. So it's 3-3 going into our half time of extra time. But right on half time, we get a second yellow card. My left back gets sent off. So I'm like, shit. Because I don't know how to approach it now. Do I just like play for penalties or what do I do? So I took one of my strikers off and brought on a defender. So we basically played a 4-4-1 and then Cesar Soto on his own up top. And whole of the second half of extra time was nothing, just defending really. And then we had a highlight right at the end of the game. We're defending an attack and I'm thinking, shit, we're going to concede here. Like we're going to lose this game right at the death. Our defender wins the ball and just punts it forward. Sends Cesar Soto through. And I'm thinking, mate, a player of his composure and finishing should be bagging it. Mate, he curls it. First time, curls it around the goalkeeper. 121st minute. Fucking win 4-3 to win the Champions League. Bearing in mind, we had 10 men. We went behind 3 times and we won the Champions League. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I wish it was sort of like earlier in the year of the FM cycle or my first Champions League win, because it just would have
Yeah.
felt unbelievable. But even then, I still can't believe, like, on paper, probably one of the craziest games of Football Manager I'd ever had. But yeah, I was so happy to win that, because obviously I haven't. This is my first season in Mexico. Like, I haven't had to grind like I have almost for all the other ones. But for now, I've just stayed to finish off that closing stage, and obviously South America is my last one now, and I've just been keeping my eye on Brazil ideally, and just nothing's coming up as of yet. But I'm hoping it's coming towards maybe the knockout stages soon of the Copa Libertadores, and we may, get a job. But no, there's no jobs even unsecure or insecure, sorry, yet, or anything like that. They're all very stable. But yeah, number 4 ticked off. Unbelievable. Our win percentage at Pumas hasn't been unbelievable, but still, as a manager, 72% win percentage, 953 games played. So depending on how we get on in Brazil, I might do it in just shy of 1,000 games, but still
Wow.
953 games played, 689 matches won, 140 lost, positive goal difference of 1,709, 20 cups won, 9 leagues won. No, doing all right. Doing all right. So yeah, hopefully I'll be at least at a new club by the next pod and we can discuss it and push on. But I don't know what I'm going to do after this, like, because if I complete this in the next couple of weeks, I've got to play a bit of FM still, but at the same time, the new
Pro
game's
clubs?
actually not that far away. So I know it's 5-6 weeks away, maybe, if they're with the beta. Well, no,
Play
a bit
some
longer
pro
than that.
clubs, maybe.
Pro clubs, man. Can we talk about that on here, or we
Um,
do need to play some clubs actually, because we had some good fun on that a few months ago. But
yeah. I mean, I'm terrible at it. I never want to stream the thing again. But yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Interesting. I've played 723 games at Cirencester in 5,076 days. So yeah, that's a lot of games you've played, man.
where's the days thing? Where does it say that? Oh,
If you go onto your profile and go on my history, tells you how many days in charge, how
how
long.
many days have you got?
5,080 days.
I got 6,544, so a bit more. The thing is,
Yeah,
what's your highest fee spent? Bearing in mind you've been in the Prem, so it might be a bit more than me.
highest
It's only
96 million.
So yeah, mine's only 55, which is mad considering I've won 4 Champions
Yeah.
Leagues.
Total fees paid to agents, 10
Euro.
million.
Oh, I'm
That's
14 and a
not
half million.
bad. That's not bad. I have bought 169, nice, and sold 68.
123 bought, 146 sold.
A little spoiler, as you already know, we've won the Carabao Cup in the past, but I've won 2 cups, 5 leagues, and 7 promotions in that time.
Well, I want the update then, because
Okay.
are those cups included a Champions League trophy? That's what I want to know.
Well, we streamed FM today.
Iconic.
Little
If you
throwback.
know, you
Little
know.
throwback. Yeah, little throwback. You like
That's
that?
why I looked. When I was looking at the FPL earlier, I was like, I'm sure I'm part of the league, and it was like the We Stream FM league that's still going. I thought, nah, that can't be right.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're not even going. Yeah. Anyway, so we started the 2036-2037 season with some nice friendlies. New stadium. That's the big one, right? So we had a new stadium. I think we've mentioned this on the pod. I think it was just me and Mad actually, but I'll just quickly run it over you, just kind of so you know what's going on. So we had a new stadium built, brand new, 27,968. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to fast forward quickly to the last game of the season. They've just announced that we are upgrading our stadium capacity because we sold it out every single week. We are now upgrading it to 41,000, which is the highest my stadium can ever go. So it looks like if I carry the save on, we'll be building a new stadium again. So anyway, just thought I'd add that in. So I had a load of friendlies to start the season. My stadium was available on the 18th of July. On the 19th of July, Dave, we played a game against an iconic team for me to open my stadium. Whom do you think it would be?
Iconic team
For me
European Stadium.
to open my stadium. Bit of narrative in the save. Palermo. Good guess. Well done.
I was gonna say United, but that's
No,
sicker. Did you get to
yeah, we
pick
got
that, or was it just
yeah.
random?
I just basically put a friendly in the day after it opened, like it was available, and just made sure all of my other friendlies were cancelled, so there's no other game. That was the first game.
Oh,
We had
so
a
it
nice
wasn't like
mark.
an official FM thing. I thought it was like,
No, we made it official.
yeah,
We had a nice little sandwich because we had Palermo. We also played Barcelona the week after, but midweek we had a we had a morale boosting game against Crickley Town, beat them 16-0. So yeah, we were. If you don't know, last season we got pipped to the top of the table. We finished second. We lost the league on the final day. Yes, we needed results to go our way, but we actually lost our last game live on the pod. Do you remember, Dave?
yeah, rip.
Yeah, rip. So we started off, and I needed to spend some money, and I decided this is the season where we go all out. We spent £356 million on players. Now that sounds a lot of money. It is a lot of money for a small club. We're not a small club anymore. We are the sixth highest reputation-wise club in England. We've got some backing, okay? I sold £238 million worth of players, so we only spent a net spend of 120 million. So not too bad. And I'll be completely open and honest. About 40 of that was probably on installments, on structured deals. So it's probably about 80 million we spent. I'm just trying to justify it. One of the worst things that happened was a chap called Cabello, who has been my goat in my central midfield. Picked him up from Las Palmas for 45 million. He was in his last year of his contract. Real Madrid came knocking. He wanted to go. He's Spanish. He loves it. He's played 4 seasons in a row for me. Into that 5th season, just could not tie him up. I sold him for 44 million to Real Madrid, which is a steal, to be
Mm.
perfectly honest. Very good player, but we had to sell him. I had no other choice. I wasn't going to let him run that contract out, even if I did think this was going to be the last season. Spoilers. It might be. I decided to get rid of him. I then went back over to Spain and I picked up an Australian called Cameron Peralta, like Peralta in
Jake.
9-9.
Yeah.
Jake.
9-9.
This chap has 7. So again, attack midfielder, 17 technique, 20 vision, 16 passing, 18 first touch, 19 decision making, 19 anticipation, off the ball 17, flair 17, physicals fantastic. 23 years of age. Elite, absolutely elite. So a fantastic little player. So I brought him in for 49 million. I then went and bought in Leon Chadwick, who is just probably the best centre back in the world at the moment at the age of 20. He's wonder kid. He's 5-star rated. Absolute beast. He going to be the centre back for years to come. And then in the winter, which we'll get to shortly, we brought in a chap called Betty Ake, who again is a Peralta kind of player, very similar, but knowing that even 6 months into the season, Peralta is being sniffed around like crazy. I thought we need to get somebody back up. This chap had a minimum release clause. I think it was like 70 million. And I thought he's only fucking young. He's only 23. I think this guy could fill that hole. If Peralta goes for 100 million. So it will be worth it in the end. And actually, Peralta is asked to leave in the closing parts of the season, which is just what you need, right? Just perfect for what you need. So that was kind of the sales in. We got rid of Kobe Mainu, which was one that I was a bit sad to see. However, he was on about 100 grand a week, but the only way I could get him to sign, he signed a 3-year deal at the start, was to have him as match current highest earner. And we had kind of, because we had got close to winning the league, we were in the Champions League, we had kind of broken that ceiling. So the decision was to get rid of him because I didn't want his contract just going up and up and up and up. And also, one of probably the saddest one was Pisani, Italian chap that played our first ever game and scored our first ever goal in the Premier League. It was his only goal that season that he scored, but he scored it, and then he was injured for about 90% of the season. But he went off, so that was our first signing in the Premier League. So that was quite nice narrative. So started the season, played very, very well. August did not lose a game. We did play Arsenal at home and beat them 4-2. First Premier League game at home in the new stadium. Fantastic. Live on stream. Perfect. Then we pissed through the Champions League phase. We played some relatively tough teams. We did lose to Inter, but apart from that, we won every other game, beating Ajax, beating teams like Bayer Leverkusen, etc., etc. We also had some tough rounds in the EFL Cup. We beat Aston Villa away from home. We beat Man United at home. We drew in the quarterfinals with Bournemouth, but we beat them on penalties. And then we ended the year with a 4-1 win against Liverpool, a 2-0 win against Man City, a 1-1 draw against Chelsea, and then we lost our first league game 1-0 against Derby. So at this stage, we're top of the table, absolutely walking the league, hadn't lost a game until that. And I'll be honest, the league was relatively sewn up quite early on into the season, which we'll get to later. But January was just mental for us. We started off with a 1-0 loss to Arsenal. Then we played. This is the games we played, okay? We played the FA Cup third round. We played the EFL Cup semi-final against first leg and second leg against Everton. We won both those games. We played West Ham in the league. We played Stoke in the league. We then played Chelsea in the Champions League phase as well, which is I didn't think was a thing. We played Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round. Played Porto in the league phase, and we played Bournemouth. We played 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 games in January. It was just like Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. It was just mental. We only lost one game. We drew to Chelsea in the Champions League, but that was it. So we were through to the 16th round of 16th in the Champions League. So we completely cut out that round of 32, which was nice. February was decent. Beat Tottenham 1-0 away from home, who won the league last year against us. So it was nice to do that double over Tottenham, which was nice because it meant that they had fallen right off, to be honest, but it was good for us to do that. We then drew Stoke in the EFL Cup final. Stoke are a Premier League side, mid-table Premier League side, bang fucking average, like literally Stoke, but in the Premier League. We scored in the 4th minute, and I kind of just put my feet up, thinking this is going to be a doddle. They scored in the 63rd minute, and then they scored in the 1st minute of extra time to make it 2-1 in extra time. We then scored in the last minute of extra time to make it 2-2, and then we won on penalties. So we won the EFL Cup. So there's a cup that
Happy
we've
days.
won. We then, next game, after beating them, lost to Southampton in the FA Cup 5th round. So that was a bit disappointing. But this is where it all starts to churn up. So we played Borussia Dortmund in the round of 16. We beat them 4-2 at their place. And then we lost 3-1 in quite possibly a very, very strange game where they scored 2 goals in the last 2 minutes. We had like so many strange random injuries. It was a bit weird. And we then won on penalties. 2 penalty shootouts we've won. Fantastic. And we got through to the quarterfinals, which meant that we had met up with Monaco in a few weeks' time. Before that, though, we had to go to Old Trafford and we beat Manchester United 5-0. We then hosted Aston Villa at home, beat them 2-0, played Monaco 2-1 at home, 2-1 away. We were through to the semi-finals of the Champions League, Dave. You can
Come
see how
on.
this is going, man, right? We then drew against Tottenham in the Champions League semi-final. Again, not really bigging Tottenham up enough. Last year they won the Premier League. They also last year won the Champions League. So they are the current holders of said Champions League. Also, they won the league back to back as well. So it's not even like it was just a fluke. They've won it back to back. So they're a good side, really good side. So we drew them. In the meantime, between beating Monaco and playing Tottenham at the end of August, we lost to Newcastle 1-0 away from home. But Manchester United also lost that week against West Ham, which gave us the Premier League with 4 games to go, which is delightful. Like, really good result for us, meaning that we could go into that Tottenham game resting players. We didn't need to do anything else. The last 4 games, Wolves, Liverpool away, City away, Chelsea at home. Not like I did not want to get to there needing points. We played Wolves, we beat them. Of course, who doesn't beat Wolves? And I'm sorry to say, Dave, Wolves are a very strange side.
Why?
And you've got some really strange players. You've got Ibrahimovic, a new gen, who is just like the weirdest looking player, but he's not valued that much. But you've got like you've just seen like we're so far in the future, but you've got so many players who are still actual players. I think like at one stage last year when we played you, you were like the only team to have more actual players than new gens. So
Well,
you've got
who have they
Enzo
got?
Fernandez at 36 years of age on 125 grand a week,
Flipping heck.
right? Which is strange. You got Arthur. Arthur is the one that's currently at Bayer Leverkusen, I believe. 34-year-old Brazilian right back.
Don't know.
Um,
Never heard of it.
you've got Callum Doyle,
Yeah.
Amari Hutchinson, Lewis
Yeah.
Hall. It's
Flipping
just,
heck.
yeah, it's just weird. The players that you've
Proper
got.
like
Oh, and
QPR.
yeah, definitely. And
Rio Ferdinand.
what was the other chap they had at the back? They had two
Samba.
really old. They had
Not
two really
Samba,
old
no.
blokes at the same time, maybe. And
Oh, Sean
Angelo,
Derry, maybe. No?
maybe it was Sean
Okay.
Derry. Yeah, and you've got Angelo as well at 32 years of age.
What
Who's
the heck?
yeah. So
Saying
like
that,
you've
I
got
need to check. Remember we checked the other day if all the players are still playing. Yeah, so Lamine Yamal's still playing in mine. He's 33. Still, it's ridiculous. I'm
yeah.
waiting
So
for him
the
to.
amount,
I want to play this safe till he retires because I'm fairly confident once he retires, everyone
yeah,
in my saves.
Lamel's still at City, 29 years of age at mine.
29, man. He that far into
Currently
mad,
valued
isn't
at 232 million pounds.
He's an absolute baller on here.
Yeah, there he is. Anyway, we played Tottenham at home and we won 1-0 at home. In between that, we had to go to Liverpool and I just fully rotated my side. Like I said, league's already patched up. Doesn't matter. We lost 2-1 to Liverpool. They scored in the 97th minute. And I thought a 1-1 draw would be nice. Good momentum, good morale, happy days. No, we lost in the 97th minute. We then played Tottenham away from home in the second leg. And we beat them 2-1, meaning we went through 3-1 on aggregate, which means we're in the final of the Champions League in Berlin against a team that we have never played before, PSG. Before PSG, we had to play Man City and Chelsea. Again, rotated both sides, both games. We lost 1-0 to City. We lost 3-2 to Chelsea. Again, scoring in the 93rd minute to win 3-1. We then lined up against PSG. Like I said, never played PSG before. PSG, you're surprised to know, Dave, they didn't win the league last year. Nantes won it. But apart from that, every other season, PSG have won it.
Oh, I need to check mine.
That's
Saying
a
that.
canter.
What was it? Someone did an experiment before. Oh my god, yeah.
I can't
Mate,
remember.
they've won it every season on mine.
Yeah, it's mental.
They've never. What the hell?
So they have some actual players as well. So they currently, under them, they have Pedri, Nuno Mendes still, Inashu, Agate, Saliba, that really long Dutch name like Gertrude,
Gertrude Eder or something like that.
yeah, who's meant to be sick, by the way, at Feyenoord. Probably going to be to the Premier League soon. So they got some proper players.
They've got some weird players on mine. Sorry, they got two strikers who this season have scored 28 goals each. The one, Cardoso, who's called Portuguese, like looks unbelievable, valued at like 100 million, looks great attributes. And then they got a guy called Mirko Viking, who's German, 6'2". I mean, he's good. Don't get me. His attributes are really good, but like his actual attacking attributes, like his finishing's 13, first touch 15. I say that. I mean, he still looks unbelievable. He's 6'2". Just looks like his technicals are unbelievable. But he's not that obviously strong in his attacking attributes.
No.
But mate, if them two are up front for him, 28 goals each, striker in the league.
That's mental,
I can't even imagine how they won the league 87 points, only lost once all season.
That's crazy, man. Well, so PSG they've got Pep Guardiola in charge of them. Okay. So we actually go in as underdogs.
So they got Javier Hernandez, Chicharito, as manager of mine.
Nice.
Yeah, he's managed some good teams, man. Good teams he's managed.
So is that like, do they just change their P to a lowercase? That's a shit one. Anyway, let's talk about football manager. So Champions League final. So I always said that Champions League final is the summit for this save. I just wanted to beat Mad. Mad spouting a lot of shit about me starting this
Oh my
save.
god, yeah, I forgot
He's
that.
not here to talk about it, but he's saying that if he can't win it with this, I don't know, Swedish team, then I wouldn't be able to win it with Cirencester. Obviously, like I said, 7 promotions, 11 years. It's so unrealistic, but yes, we've managed to do it. Probably 90% of the save since we got to the Premier League. I've been playing a little bit offline, but all the promotions, all the seasons up to the Premier League has been online on stream. It's just at the moment with the heat. I'm in a little box room. Like I can touch each wall as I touch. It's just too hot, so I've been playing a little bit offline. Anyway, we streamed this game because I was in the Discord call with Jace DeCanio when we beat Tottenham, and he's like, "You got to play it." I'm like, "I got to play it. I can't switch the game off. I've got to play the game." And he's like, "Just play it now. Record it, and then like you can play it back when you stream." And I'm like, "No, I can't. I can't not stream. If this is going to be like the summit, we've got to summit together as a viewership, right?" So we started off the Champions League final. In the first half alone, we were all over them. Our XG was like 12. I think it was 12 times their XG. They hadn't had a shot on target. We had just been flying balls in, playing awesome. Got him in at halftime, give him a good little morale, little ass tap, all that goodness, as you should. We come out after halftime, again, all us. We see a really weird highlight where I wouldn't even call it a foul. Like the graphical representation looked like like obviously it was meant to be a foul, but didn't look like a foul, which
Yeah,
makes it more
yeah.
annoying. It's about 35 yards out. A chap called Mario Rodriguez for PSG takes this. He is a French lad who is all right. He's a left winger, but I've tried to sign him a few times. He's been patting around. He kind of was at Fulham, was at Liverpool. Nobody really massive. But then in the summer of the 34 season, Rems got him on a free, and then PSG bought him for like 100 million. But he has a fucking free kick from 32 yards out, 35 yards out, and he goes in. It's their first shot of the game, goes in. So I'm like, this is crap. Nuts. So I start pushing up, even from that minute then, 50th minute. I'm pushing up, bringing my wing backs up, bringing my DMs up. My striker, who's been the GOAT all season, Leighton Glynn, bought him from Manchester United. We're talking 16 finishing, 17 composure, 17 technique, acceleration, pace, both 17. This season alone scored 27 goals. He's got goals in him. I was playing a 6.3. I've got a young Scottish striker on the bench, and I'm thinking I might just take him off. I might just take Glyn off and just put Tomiyaski. I don't know how to say his name. We're going to go with that. You can't see what I can read, so it's fine. That's what his name is. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to put him on. I put him on. He gets substituted on in the 76th minute. We're still not knocking. I'm not seeing a highlight. I can't see anything. We're currently up to like XG of 2. We've got more ball. We've got more of the passes completed. Everything would scream, it is us. In the 82nd minute, the ball bounces out to about 30 yards out. Tomiyaski, whatever, it's Chris, his first name is, we'll call it Chris. Scottish Chris. It pops out to Scottish Chris, and he bangs it. Bottom corner, 81st minute, 82nd minute, we are back in the game. Then it goes to extra time. Just before extra time, our right winger, who again been with us since we've been in the Premier League, been very average, but I don't have a better right winger. He's been playing well, goes off injured. I don't really have another right winger, so we're doing a little bit of manipulation. And now I don't know if you know this. Right before extra time, he goes off injured. I then don't replace him straight away because I'm like, look, let's just keep him off the pitch for now. We've got like literally seconds of the game remaining, and then we're going to regroup, reassess. I'll look at the subs, I'll look at the system, and I'll see how we can manipulate it to try and make it to our advantage. So I just hit continue, like I hit confirm. We then go to extra time. I go back into the tactics screen, and there's just like a space where he was. There's not like an outline of an injured player. They've just taken him off the pitch. And I know you can right click and take players off. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Even if if you haven't got any subs, even if you've got subs waiting. But I was then panicking, so I was like, right, how do we put the sub back? How do we put somebody back on? Luckily, it does let you do that. If you only have 10 people on the pitch, you can jump. But I was panicking, yeah.
Yeah.
Extra time comes past really quickly until right at the end of the extra time. We look like we're going to score. We are on top. We are getting chances after chance after chance after chance after chance. But unfortunately, nobody scores and it goes to penalties. I'm feeling confident in penalties. We beat Dortmund on penalties. We beat Bournemouth on penalties. We beat Stoke on penalties. I know it's only those teams, but at the end of the day, it's only penalties. I look at my team and I kind of go through who's the best. Who's the best set piece taker? Who's the guy that can make sure we get off to a fantastic start? So our lineup, we take the first penalty as well, was Betake, the chap that we brought in the winter, sorry. The guy's got 16 free kicks. He's got his penalty attribute is 15. He is a player. Everyone's looking composed as well. Everyone's happy. He steps up. He misses.
Oh.
PSG, Pedri steps up. He scores. We then step up with Jason Holty as our Chilean left midfielder, who's wonder kid. Actually, funny enough, his first ever game for Cirencester, we only bought him for 3 million. He come off the bench and he took a penalty. We had a penalty to take. I think we were winning 2-1 at the time. And on stream, we said, well, let's give him a confidence booster at the age of whatever he was. He missed that penalty. But he scored this one in the Champions League final. It goes back to them, back to us, back to us, back to them. We score all of our remaining penalties. But unfortunately, so do PSG. They scored 5 out of 5. We lost 5-3 on penalties in our Champions League final. And I'll be honest, it's a game that if we played 20 more times, if we did a Dave and reload it, honestly, mate, like no taking the piss, we would win that game. I have a save file before because it saves every week. And I am half tempted just to go and replay it. And I bet you we win. But that's the way. That's the way Football Manager works, right? So I kind of, after the game, I'm sat there going, well, this is not what I expected. I had an hour and a half stream planned where we'll go and win the Champions League. We'll then go look through all the fantastic players, like the where are they nows, the old classes of like the old teams that have come through, people we had sold, and just kind of go, right, there you go. Let's just hang that hat up and call it a day. But now it looks like we've got to go again. And unfortunately, we are losing a few players. So we're losing our goalkeepers. I say goalkeepers, it's plural. My backup goalkeeper and my third choice goalkeeper are both going. So we're going to try and bring in a better one to go above. Our right back's going, our right wingers going, our centre midfielders going. So we're losing a few players that we need to now fill. When you go on to, it's literally just after the game is finished, right? And I scroll down my starting 11. 8 of my starting 11 are wanted by other teams. Talking Bayern Munich, we're talking Real Madrid, Liverpool, Tottenham. Yeah, this guy's wanted by 11 clubs.
Oh my God.
So it's going to get decimated. I have players I want to bring in. There's a couple of new gens from England that look very good. One being Mark Hughes is his name, which is a fantastic name, obviously. He looks like a very good attack mid, and if Peralta goes, he will go in there. There's another chap, Yildirim, a Turkish right winger that I really want to sign. He looks really good. We tried to sign him a while ago when he was about 19. Wouldn't sign for us because of the rep. Now he's very interested. Looks a good player, and I want to get him out of Bordeaux because they've given him the number 6 on the right wing. And I think if anything, that's enough for me to get him. That's a cry for help. But yeah, so we're gonna kind of next few days. I've got quite a busy day tomorrow of doing absolutely jack shit bar playing FM. So I'm gonna sit and play FM, update a little Twitter feed. So people will maybe see this on. Maybe I'll schedule the Twitter feed so people don't see it. But yeah, unfortunately, Dave, we fell at that final hurdle. I still think we've probably beaten Mad with the fact that we actually got there. Getting there's the key.
Yeah, but you're gonna go and win it, though, aren't you?
We're gonna try and go and win it now. Yeah,
yeah, man, you'll be sound. It's so frustrating because like the whole season, like you're not too bored about the Premier League as such, I suppose, but like that's the focus to win the Champions League, and then when you play a full season, obviously I've had it quite a few times. I've lost a few finals on this one. When you play a full season and lose, you're like, oh my God! Especially when you know you dominated it so much as well. It's
and like the thing is, we had a run. What I mean by that is like when you look at the teams that we actually played, mate.
They're good teams.
Yes, we played Dortmund, Monaco, Tottenham. You know what I mean? It's not like we didn't play Barcelona, we didn't play Real Madrid, we didn't play.
You say Spurs had won the Champions League the year before, so they're obviously quite good.
Spurs have won but Spurs came 5th in the league this year, so they're no good. Do you know what I mean? They've kind of gone off the boil now. But it's really strange. Some of the stuff you see like is just crazy in these saves, and when you get to this far, It is really weird, some of the stuff you see.
Mm.
Like it's quite nice. So we've currently got Stoke in the Prem at the moment. Leeds are in the Prem, but Brighton, Brentford, and West Ham are all going down this season. Sheffield United, Southampton, and Forest are coming up. It's a bit weird that you see the same teams all the bloody time. You know, like
Yeah.
even in real life, you see that as well, right? You see these yo-yo clubs, and you know, apart from Derby and Stoke and Leeds, everyone else, and obviously Cirencester, the other 16 teams that are in the Premier League right now, and we're what 11 seasons in, so
Yeah.
it's a bit of a
Mate, I'm
shame.
looking
But
at the Prem. On my save on the Prem, so Arsenal got the top goal scorer. He got 27 goals this season. Or like genuinely unbelievable new gen. He's from Iran. He's like
wow,
unbelievable.
yeah,
But probably the most unusual. They got Blackburn, so Millwall are in the Prem.
nice,
Burnley have just got
great away
Europe.
day.
Burnley have just got Europe. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty normal to be fair. And still the big teams still at the top.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, mine goes Cirencester, obviously, City, Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Everton, Liverpool, Arsenal. Like
yeah.
literally the 8 or 7 other teams that have done well over the last 20 years. Maybe Newcastle add on to that, but
Even in the Championship, it looks like teams other than Stockport County who just got relegated. They look like similar sort of teams that what I'd expect. Wolves have got a striker in the Championship worth
yeah,
87 million.
wow.
That's mad, isn't it?
But again, I agree with you, Dave. If I read through these really quickly, we've got Reading, Plymouth, Palace, West Brom, Hull, Sunderland, Bolton, Watford, Birmingham, Cardiff, Rotherham, Swansea, Millwall, Blackburn, Bristol City, Norwich, Coventry, and Middlesbrough. That is the most championship I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
And
see if
we're
there's any
11 seasons in.
out of the blue. Even League Two are probably teams that I maybe expect. South Shields have just gone down, but Woking have just got up to League One. I
Oh,
suppose that's quite
Wrexham.
interesting.
Wrexham just got promoted to the championship on my save.
Mm,
They just won League One.
no.
Yeah, but
But
it's
yeah,
just like it's strange how it does just all find its way like that. Swindon struggling to get out of the Vanarama National League.
I was going to
Curtis
see Premier
Aldershot
League
won
winners
it.
actually. So it's a real mix. So Newcastle did win it one year. Man City dominated for a little while, but it's been really mixed. Arsenal, Man U the last 4 years.
Yeah,
Arsenal have done so well. They've just won it again.
mine goes from the previous, obviously last year, so IRL season. City, Arsenal, City, Arsenal, City, City, Arsenal, United, Chelsea, City, City, Tottenham, Cirencester.
Yeah.
And when you actually look at it, like there's no one out of that 8 that's kind of come first, second, or third.
Yeah. I was going to quick look at the managers as well, actually, see if there's anyone of note. So Arsenal have got a new gen manager.
Wow.
It's a bit boring, isn't it?
That's really
Uh,
strange. You don't often see that, to be
no.
fair.
Bearing in mind he's winning the leagues as well. Villa have got Carlos Bocanegra, the US guy. Blackburn have got a guy called Tristan Blancard. Xabi Alonso's at Brentford. Gary Rowett
Oh,
at Fulham. Trying to see who
we've
else.
we've got we've got a complete arsehole at Aston Villa. Forgot to mention him on the losers of the week.
Go on.
Vincent Company.
Oh god.
I don't know if you've seen the clip of him shouting. I mean, it is football manager-esque because he's a football manager. I don't understand. That's never going to work in any
Environment.
profession. So why
Yeah.
you think it's going to work in that environment, I don't know.
No, he didn't do it.
Um,
Yeah,
I
Man U
have
got Thiago Motta, and interestingly, Spurs have got Jaden. Is it Philogene? He only just joined Villa in real life. He's only a young player.
oh, wow.
He's just rejoined Villa from Hull, I think. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, some
Yeah.
interesting managers on here.
Danny Cowley's at Leicester. The
I see
Zerbi's
Wolves.
at City.
Wolves got Odson Edward. What a crazy save, man!
Yeah. Noel Hunt is at West Ham. On
Mate, there's
mine.
some great ones on here.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? No, he's got a 21 percent win
Oh
percentage.
my god, Jamel Lascelles at Lincoln.
Right, I think that does do very well, and that does bring episode 366 to a close, Mr. Azzopardi. One thing I will say, that is going to please the save updaters. We do have
Yeah, there's
people
a
in the
few big
comments.
fans.
We haven't put a prompt to it this week, but if you don't know, you can watch this on YouTube and comment, and we'll, 9 times out of 10, we make reference to those comments in the week after. Yeah, English is easy for me. Anyway, you can find the links for both of us in the podcast description or by visiting 5starpotential.com, where you can find all of our latest Football Manager content. In the description of this podcast, Dave will remember to put the FPL. You can still join late, right?
Yeah, you can. I'm joining. I think it depends on how Mad set it up, but it should still count your first week score. Like for argument's sake, it should
If
get
it
me involved.
doesn't, it's a handicap for not listening last week.
Yeah.
Anyway, 5-Star Potential is available on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and most of our popular podcast apps and platforms with a new podcast released every single week. Thank you all for listening. There'll be more from us next week. Say goodbye, David.
Goodbye, David.
Who you got this week?
Chelsea at home. Easy win.
Ooh, tough start. We got Brentford, Brighton, one of them. A B. We got a B.